being authoritarian here after the Hong Kong government did not permanently withdraw the bill by the deadline that protesters set for today. So on this, we're being joined now by Sarah Flounder. She is the co-director of the International Action Center in New York to break all of this down. Sarah, thanks for being with us today. So first, protesters oppose the extradition bill because they're concerned China is being authoritarian here. Yet one Hong Kong legislator has said this, quote, "The bill will only apply to offenses punishable with 7 years imprisonment. In other words, focusing on really serious crimes. People don't need to worry about being whisked away to mainland China because of some petty offenses or petty quarrels years ago." But historically, what's been the relationship between Hong Kong and China?
Well, first of all, Hong Kong was stolen from China during the Opium Wars, 1842, by the British and the U.S., whose Navy both played a very prominent role in the absolute destruction of China at that time. And their navies patrolled the rivers of China, 1,000 miles inland. Hong Kong was their main port, and it still functions that way today. In terms of finance capital on an international scale, flows through Hong Kong into investments in China. But at the same time, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars is spent in soft power in terms of 37,000 NGOs, the political parties, the media, the universities are all funded from the West to create hostility toward China. And that is really the crux of the problem. Where are the demonstrations coming from, and what are the demands that they're raising? It's all against China and not against the banks that run Hong Kong.
So do you think that the 2 million people that are flooded onto the streets the past week, do you think their fears are unfounded?
Well, their fears are really, Hong Kong is the only city in the world that can set their own extradition. There's no country in the world where national law is below the law of a city. So Hong Kong has become a center for forces throughout Asia and all kinds of corrupt and mafia forces, and this really began around a Taiwanese businessman who was charged with murdering his pregnant girlfriend, and Taiwan was wanting his extradition back to Taiwan. That's the basis of these demonstrations.